Welcome to the first ever episode of Low Budget Photography. My name is Mbo. In this series, what we will try to do is look at our budgets and focus on working with what we have and have fun with photography. We aren't going to look at the latest in equipment because not everyone can afford it, unfortunately, and that's how the field of photography is. But we'll start off with cell phone photography. Now, the reason why I want to start with cell phones is because it's easily accessible to everyone. Everywhere you go, you have this small camera in your pocket. Now, it might not seem like something a professional could use, but it's something a professional could use for practice. For example, the worse your equipment is, the actually more creative you become with photography. Now let's look at what we can use cell phone photography for. Now, because of the angles or the sizes of the cameras that phones come with, they all come with a wide angle camera. For example, I have this old Techno Spark 7 with me. This isn't the greatest phone ever. It's very affordable. It's on sale apparently for 1,999 rand and 90 cents. That's a lot of nines in there, but you can work with it. It's got a decent camera. It's not the best camera. It's very decent. It is a 16 megapixel camera. I'm pretty sure some of you have way better phones than me. So you are in luck because we can work magic with what you have. It obviously comes with a flash, and all phone cameras luckily are autofocus, which you'll use that to your benefit. Now, when it comes to cell phone cameras, there's this all of them can actually have this function where press and hold the screen while you are taking a photo. Now, when you move your finger up or you move your finger down, you are actually adjusting the light that your camera brings into the picture. And this works very well if you're taking pictures late at night. It can work to your benefit whether you want to bring more lights in if you want to see your subjects, or if you want to be more artistic about it, because what your phone does is that it tries to brighten up the whole image. But if you bring that light down, for example, let's look at this image that I have here down in Johannesburg. In this one, my phone lit up the whole screen, but when you bring it all down, it gives it a more mysterious type of look, a cooler look as well. Because it's a wide angle camera, it kind of takes up the entire city. If you look at another example of an image we took in Johannesburg, if you look at Ellis Park over here, we have the entire area of Ellis Park in there. And because cell phones aren't like cameras where wherever you are focusing, it'll actually try to get that image, but the rest of the image will have some blurriness in it. With cell phones, the entire image is in focus because it pushes it up to a very high f-stop. And with cell phones, another thing, we have to focus on the wide angle lens because they are amazing for landscape photography. So if you want to go out, maybe get a picture of the open road, like I did here near East London, you can get it. If you want to take pictures of buildings, like I did, Pangase Ndukumbela is the name of this building in Bisho. Went out, it was raining, and I got this. It's actually a large building. I was surprised it could fit inside the image, but I got that as well. And these images aren't the best images you'll ever see taken, but they are pretty good for the low standard of phone that I actually have. And that's why when it comes to low budget photography, cell phones can be very important. And another very important issue about cell phones is that if you're someone like me, I've never lived in an area that has low crime. It's been very dangerous around the areas I live in, and you can't just be outside holding this camera where eyes will be on you. All of a sudden, you're a target, and you don't want to get mugged and lose something that's worth thousands of rands in terms of your camera and your lens. So your phone is great to have. Not a lot of people will see that you actually have a phone on you. You keep it in your pocket and you take these images when you're outside. For example, I have this image I took of a train in Berlin. Where that train is, the area is pretty quiet. There's no one around, and you have to walk through this thick bush to try and get the image of the train. So that would have been very risky to go out with a camera, but going out with the phone that I have, I didn't mind at the time, because if I lose this phone, I could replace it with something around its price. If you have an expensive phone, then it's a different story. So please be careful where you choose to go. And the last point is that these phones, every single phone, you can actually edit within your phone's gallery. Just basic edit, fix the sharpness, the brightness, the shadows, and the highlights. But if you want to work with colors and other things, you can actually download apps for your phone, which will actually, it's actually great practice when you want to become an editor, because that's where I learned how to edit photos. I started off with the phone before I moved to PCs and laptops and stuff like that. So you download your Adobe on your phone or any other editing application that's available on your app store, and you can come up with some brilliant images, because over time you start working with these JPEGs. There's not a lot of adjustments you can really make in a JPEG without ruining the image. So it actually teaches you to make slight adjustments. So then once you move up to the larger images that come out of your cameras, like your raw files, it's way easier for you to actually knuckle down and get the proper editing done. I know this is about photography, but if you also want to take videos with cell phones, for example, if you want to shoot something like this, you can, because they go, well, mine goes up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, but I know other phones, which cost way more than this, can get up to 4K as well. So you don't really have to get a camera if it's gonna be a hobby. You can just use your phone as well. But if you're gonna work for other people, for example, if you wanna go shoot someone's birthday party, don't take your phone. Get a camera. We'll speak about that over time of what you can do at a birthday party. But a phone is very unprofessional. The person will feel disrespected. So when you're doing photography for yourself, maybe there's a place you wanted to go, but you're not quite sure about the people in the area. You don't want to make other people uncomfortable by just pulling up with a camera as well. Just use your phone. You'll get brilliant images, and it will help you practice. You'll have a lot of fun. Thank you for watching this first episode of The Low Budget Photographer. Hopefully we'll see each other again.